Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Scripts, and Purrs. My name's Leslie, and we're here for another book haul. I woke up this morning. I had to drop off my daughter at her friends. They're going to be there for quite some time. And instead of being responsible, driving my butt straight back home to do what I need to do, I decided that I could have a little me time and retail therapy that I will regret later. So here we are. I stopped by Octavia's bookshelf. Another reason why I wanted to go there was I don't think I've been there since prior to the fires that happened in the Altadena, Los Angeles area. And so I just kind of miss being there. That's one of the, I guess you could say, small businesses that I've basically dedicated to put my money there than other bookstores, even though I do from time to time. And that's just because I didn't know if going around that area made sense. I just haven't been back there. So I was glad to go back and see that the small businesses in the area seem pretty busy. Even on a weekend, you just never know how it's going to be. And so I just thought, yeah, let's stop on by. It's a beautiful day. It was nice and sunny, not very breezy at all. And everybody just felt like very much in like a chill mood. It was just really beautiful. So I'm glad I went because I was driving over them, thought this isn't the best decision, but I did it anyways. So yeah, let's talk about what books I got. I got 3. I have never heard of this author before, so I'm gonna have to check them out because I googled them after, and they've written quite a bit, and I'm just not familiar with them. That's Adrienne Marie Brown. The first book is called Grievers, and it's a part of a trilogy. So that's why I got more than one book on my stop, because I was intending to stop into Octavia's bookshelf and only buy one book. So this is part of a trilogy, the Grievers trilogy, and it says in the front, there has never been a love letter to Detroit and social justice lineages like this one. So that already captured my I like that the cover is a photograph rather than a particular illustration, I think. Maybe that's just what I made myself think. But yeah, maybe this is digitally created, but I like it. It says Black Dawn series. And on the back, what also took me in is that Tananarive Due wrote something on the back of here. And if you've read The Reformatory or anything by Tananarive Due, they write more like horror or like sci-fi horror. And so she wrote, Grievers is a beautiful debut novella by Adrienne Marie Brown, who is already one of the most important voices in Afrofuturism and true life world building. Grievers could not be more timely, tackling loss, plague, gentrification, memory, and grief with a path toward hope in a future Detroit. Each paragraph is lovingly crafted, a story unto itself, blending into a tapestry no reader will soon forget. And the little description on this one says, Dune's mother is patient zero of a mysterious illness that stops people in their tracks, a mid-sentence, mid-action, mid-life, casting them into a non-responsive state from which no one recovers. Dune must navigate poverty and the loss of her mother as Detroit's hospitals, morgues, and graveyards begin to overflow. As the quarantined city slowly empties of life, she investigates what caused the plague and what might end it. Following in the footsteps of her late researcher father, who has a physical model of Detroit's history and losses set up in their basement. She dusts it off and begins tracking the sick and dying, discovering patterns, finding comrades in curiosity, conspiracies for the fertile grounds of the city, and the unexpected magic that emerges when the debt of grief is cleared. And that just sounded incredible. Like every point between the cover to the praise for the book, and having an idea of what it's about just really captured me. And so amongst all the other reading, and also this is like the way this is packaged is quite small. And so I think that makes me feel I could I could sneak it in somewhere this year. The second book I got from Octavia's bookshelf, and by the way, I took these. I don't think I have a, what do you call it? I don't think I have one of these. So, anyways, I'm getting distracted. Is the second book, which is called Maroons. It's a little bit brighter, a bit sunnier on the cover. It does look basically like the same home, but just a different time, maybe. And so on the back it says, and then second installment of the Grievous trilogy, the author brings the bear to her background as an activist rooted in Detroit. The pandemic of syndrome HA continues to ravage the city of Detroit and everyone in Dune's life. In Maroons, she must learn what community and connection mean in the lonely wake of a fatal virus. Emerging from grief to follow a subtle path of small pleasures through an abandoned urban landscape, she begins finding other unlikely survivors with little in common but the will to live. Together they begin to piece together the puzzle of their survival and that of the city itself. And so that sounded really good too. So I don't know if the third one's out, but they didn't have it available at Octavia's bookshelf. So I'll wait till they have it in, or I might have to order it to pick it up some other time. But I'll make sure that I'll go there. And lastly, it would not be a proper how should I say this, a perusal of Octavia's bookshelf without picking up a book by Octavia E. Butler. So this is just a repackaging of the author's short stories. At some point it was released. And there is, I feel like, I'm wondering, have I read Bloodchild and don't know it? Anyways, so this is just one of those that I'm going to add to my collection of Octavia Butler, which I have plenty on my shelf. I don't know when, I'm not going to do it this year, but one of these months for my birthday, I want to just focus on all the books I have by Octavia Butler that are on my shelf that I haven't read, because I have read a chunk of hers. It's not all of them. She has plenty. So that might be a 2027 thing, since these next 2 years I'm toggling my Interview the Vampire Inspired Readathon with other projects that I'm doing. So I'm just very slowly just adding to the pile. And so on the back it says, named a New York Times notable book of the year, and now supplemented with new stories. Bloodchild and Other Stories is renowned author Octavia E. Butler only collection of shorter work and features the Hugo and Nebula award-winning stories, Bloodchild and Speech Sounds. These works of the imagination are parables of the contemporary world. Butler proves constant in her vigil, an unblinking pessimist, hoping to be proven wrong, the one of contemporary literature's strongest voices. And so, yeah, so I've read Kindred, Dawn, Perilous, no, not Perilous Silvers. I've read Kindred, Fledgling, and I don't have it listed here, but I read her trilogy, her sci-fi trilogy, Dawn, Adulthoods, and Imago. So I've read those, but there's like a smattering of other ones I haven't read. Perilous Silvers, I read some of it and then I have to go back, but I think I wasn't like in the right headspace, and it's written in journal form, and that's a duology, right? She didn't get to write more because she passed away, but that was one of those books I think she was planning on continuing, among others, as a series. So yeah, so I have this now. I think I could very gently put this onto my pile of other books that she has, and my daughter might not notice. Um, Lastly, outside for free, so I'm not going to pass this up. There's some magazine, Days Max, that was for free, and then I was kind of looking at this. I don't really carry magazines around that much, but I found this section about rollerblading, and so I wanted to read that one. And I also like to learn about cinematography and photography, so I thought this would be a good magazine to learn from because a lot of these have portraits or digitally altered portraits. I could kind of tell. So I thought that would be interesting to study. And also, there's another YouTuber, and their channel is Mary Had a Little Hobby, and she likes to rollerblade, and she's also within the Interview the Vampire fandom, which is why I became why I like stumbled upon her channel. And so I think I was also thinking about her when I saw that there was like a little a small article about rollerblading. So that's kind of where I'm at. This one even says riding out for Atlanta, but it's I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, and then there's skating, ice skating on the back. Anyways, can you see that? Okay, okay. So yeah, that was a little splurge. We'll call it little because I've done worse. I hope you enjoyed this. It was just something I just decided to put together last minute. And this is also the first time I'm going to try doing an outro, first and potentially the last. I hope you can't hear Ginger snoring, my Ginger booty right there. She's fast asleep and I don't want to bother her. But anyways, thank you for everyone for indulging me in my nonsense. I love you lots. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself and others. And you know what? Read more books. Bye.